This week I'm joined by cousins Ricardo and João Bortas. Ricardo and João are born and raised in Portugal and are the founders of the photography project As Pessoas Fazem os Lugares, which translated means the people make the places. This project documents the lives of everyday people around them, like fishermen, farmers, craftspeople, shop owners, and many others, with João taking the photos while Ricardo writes and translates their stories. We recorded this interview at an exhibition of some of their photos. Please also remember that, like many other guests on the podcast, English is not their first language. But just enjoy the passion that Ricardo and João express about this project as they discuss, amongst other things, why they started, what they have learned while doing this project, and how it really is the people that make Portugal. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life. We're in a really awesome location here in Foz do Aurélio, and I'm sitting here with João and Ricardo and João Bortas, our first cousins on the podcast. So guys, welcome to the podcast. Just tell us where we are, Ricardo.
We are currently at the tourism place in Foz do Aurélio, and also the exhibition venue, which is exactly in the same place. And
so it's just a zone for people to do exhibitions like what you guys are doing
currently
here.
This place will start becoming a place for exhibitions. And I think our exhibition is actually the first one going on here, and in the future I hope they will do more.
Yeah, at this time of the year,
we are very happy with the place.
At this time of the year, difficult to park to get here.
Definitely.
The beach is full. The beach is just across the road.
Yes.
But maybe you guys can start off by telling us a little bit about you.
Okay.
About you guys.
So we are cousins, and we both have 39 years old.
Okay.
And we live close to each other. I'm from Torres Vedras, a city not far from Lisbon, closer than the place where João was born and raised, which is close to Caldas da Rainha. And Bombarral is a village. It's a village called São Mamede. And my whole family are
from São Mamede?
It's from São Mamede also,
nice
because
village.
His mother is sister from my mother.
Okay.
So my family are all from there, from that village, but then I grew up in Torres Vedras, the city.
Okay.
I always went there to visit my cousin and to be with the family all the time. So and then he grew up in that place. I grew up in my city. We did the uni in different courses, different areas, different places. And then João started working as a photographer.
Okay.
Long ago, he's a professional with.
When I am studying in faculty.
In university.
Yes, and I started photography.
And then we started. By that time, maybe it's too early to talk about the project.
Yeah. Which village in Caldas? Which village?
São Mamede.
São Mamede. Okay,
yes, near.
Yeah. A beautiful area.
Yes.
So I mean, the connection here for people that lived in this area and grew up in this area to nature, to the sea, is special.
It's special because we have the sea, and then we have the lagoon.
Yeah.
And then the sea is closed, and there are different places around. Peniche is very rich. We usually go to Peniche and Baleal. That's our area, beach area, especially. João is living now there. He's living really close to the beach.
We were at Fergal at the festa. Now in the last few days, that festa is crazy, man. It's a crazy festa.
Last night having
no sleep.
Yes.
No sleep.
It's more like a festival nowadays.
Yeah,
because you can compare it with other villages parties, because the villages are usually smaller and more about Portuguese popular music, and Ferreira is bringing famous artists, and it's getting more like a huge festival. But it's nice.
It's true. I mean, for you as a storyteller and as you write, and you're a journalist, right?
No. I took when I went to London. I lived in London for 3 years, and I worked as a waiter. And then when I was there, I took a translation course.
Okay.
I always like to read and to write a bit, but I never thought I would be writing anything. But then I started doing this project with João, and I developed that area. But that translation course was was critical to become a writer in this context of this project.
Okay, well, tell us a bit about the project and what it's about. It's called As Pessoas Fazem Lugares. In English, People Make Places.
Yes.
But tell us about the project, how it started, why you guys did this.
João was the guy who had the idea for this project. The name of the project, which is, in my opinion, it's essential because it describes in five words actually. As pessoas fazem os lugares. 5 words, and it describes the whole idea of this project, which is to tell the story and to photograph people who are really important to their community and their place, the place where they live. And that was the main thing at the beginning, was to...
Yeah, the beginning is I start I don't know if I speak at Portuguese in my... but I start in photography like...
You started taking photographs in the streets, and then
yes.
in the mountains, went to Serra da Estrela, for example, to Alqueva, which is the biggest lagoon in Europe, artificial lagoon in Portugal. We went to different places, Jerez also, a beautiful place in Portugal. But we went, and João was the photographer. He was taking photographs. He already had in his mind that he wanted to make something similar to what we are doing nowadays. I didn't feel confident at the time. I just felt confident to help João with the lights and the flash.
Him to come with me.
And to meet people also.
Because I photograph a lot with flash. So I need someone to help me
to hold
and
the equipment and everything.
And then we always liked each other. We like to be
cousins,
cousins. So
it's
was
another reason. It's the
to
friends that you can't choose. You know.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's like a brother almost. So then we started traveling together, and the photographs were another reason to be together and to get to know other people. But then I didn't realize I would be able to write stories about the people. We started just by captions, small captions, like we did for these people. We never wrote the story as we are doing now. But we started doing small captions, and the photographs were amazing, and we started thinking that maybe the story could come along.
It's something. So it's photos, beautiful photos. Wow, wonderful. I've been following your guys' page for a long time, and the photos are really nice. But it's also the story. It's normal people. So these are not models. This is not staged. This is people doing everyday life. So I know here today it's about the fishermen of the lagoon, but at the exhibition. But in this, on your website and on your social medias, it's sheep farmers, producers. I've seen people carpenters that make wood, all different types of things, and it's their stories and what makes these people special.
Yes, definitely. We've tried to find people who have a role, an important role in their community, and they make something that still is important and is valued by their community, and some of them, they still do it as it was done long ago, centuries ago, and they do it better than anyone else, and they are the last ones. Some of them are just a few doing it, and they have that knowledge which is precious, and they are humble people. Most of them, they know something that's very few people know to do it, but they don't brag about it. They just it's their life was just always that, so they don't realize how important they are, some of them, for the community and for Portugal, because they represent a big part of Portugal, the story of Portugal.
I mean, speaking about Portugal, because for me the title of this project, As Pessoas Fazem os Lugares, is something that I hear people saying about Portugal. Anybody that visits Portugal, anybody that visits this region, but anywhere in the country, the thing that they always say is what makes Portugal so special. The number one thing is the people. So I love this project. That's you. And I think one of the things that I love about this project is, and maybe you can comment, these people don't know that they're doing something beautiful. They just do it. They're just living their lives, and it's something quite pure and unique.
Yes. I feel that they it was their lives it was always like that, and most of them they don't live in cities, in big cities, so their circumstances, the way they live didn't change for their whole lives. They still do the same job their parents or grandparents did, and the way they are proud of the things they do.
They take pride in their work.
They take pride in their work, definitely, and that's really makes us feel like proud of being Portuguese, also because that people still represent our nation, and they are the best we have, definitely. Portuguese pessoas fazem os lugares. I think it describes very well Portugal.
In doing this project, what have you learned about Portugal, about the people? We've spoken about some of the things, but what are some of the things that you've learned in this project?
We have learned a lot about the different activities, because we are from a different generation, and I'm a bit like urban guy. I didn't get to know people who do these things throughout my life, so it was great to get to know some of the things and how do they do it. It's like the pottery, for example.
Yeah.
The pottery. We met one, and it was interesting to get to know all the process, and then the way what the people represent to the community around, and the importance that person has for. It's about that, but it was more a human thing. We get to know a lot about human nature. Yes,
and the people.
Yes.
João, if you want to speak a bit in Portuguese, and I can translate, but why is this place so special for photography?
Because este lugar é lindo para fotografia por causa da Lagoa de Óbidos. É sítio magnífico. E acima de tudo, por causa das pessoas que trabalham na Lagoa de Óbidos, os mariscadores, e foi assim que nós começámos aqui, não foi?
So João was just saying that the things that make photography for him so special here is the lagoon, and how beautiful the lagoon is, and then the people.
And then the people, yes, how real people are, and the people. That's their life. That they are just doing the thing they do every day. So we are just capturing the real, capturing the real thing. And for example, these fishermen, we arrived early in the morning to photograph them, and they were in a rush to start working. So we had to get to know them and to show that we were really interested in what they were doing. Maybe then there would be an exhibition in the future, but we had no guarantees.
Yeah.
We were just taking photographs and showing them that their work was interesting to us and to other people in the future, to show them. They were a bit unsure about what was going on, but I think we managed to
get their trust.
Their trust. Yes.
I think they could maybe see that you wanted to learn about their story, not just for an opportunity, but
I think that's something. Definitely. I think that was a big difference.
It's like we need to live viver a vida deles.
Live their lives, do the same things, and be in the water. You go in the water with them?
Every time. Shooting in the water.
Every morning, in February, in January, the waters were really cold, and that showed respect for them, and that they realized these guys are really able and interested in doing what requires what is needed to do.
Why was it important for you guys to tell these stories, and because these guys represent old Portugal? They represent, like you said, some of them it's the last people doing these things. Why was it important for you to tell their stories? Why was that important?
I think it was especially to make some like a register for the future, and because we feel a lot some people who do crafts and some works they are one of the last remaining people doing that, and we feel that sometimes we are looking for someone doing some some activity and that person just died or and was the last one and stopped doing that. It happened a few times with us. So we feel that we are running against the clock because a lot of people are stopped doing these activities, and we feel that rush, that's the pressure to, not a real pressure, but we want to tell their stories and to photograph them because we noticed how happy and proud that they get after seeing their stories.
They've been here to see some of them?
Yes, a couple of them were here. That one, for example, were here
Albert,
in the day it opened.
Okay.
And the other ones, I guess they came afterwards. Yeah, the Diogo. And that make us proud of seeing that they are also there and their families are proud of what they're doing, because nobody before that really showed some appreciation for their work. I think that's very important for us.
Yeah, it's a beautiful project.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, okay, guys. Let's talk about some of the people in these photos. So, where do you want to start?
We can start by Alberto Jacinto. He used to be the vice president of the Fishermen Association here in the Óbidos Lagoon, and he made a lot of efforts to keep the lagoon and to preserve the lagoon as it is. And he's like an example for the whole community. Everyone sees him as someone really important to defend the lagoon and the best of it. And he took us on his boat. We went with him on his boat, and now in this picture you can see he's using a trap, a heel trap. You can catch eels.
Oh, the eels. Enguias.
Enguias.
Yeah, eels.
That one is called galricho, and it's used to catch enguias. It was really nice to us, and we went a bit. We sailed a bit in the lagoon, and it was really nice. Like everyone else, we can't complain about everyone. They were really open their arms and showed us the lagoon.
It's a Portuguese thing, opening the arms,
yes, I think so.
and welcoming people. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Even two young guys from Torres Vedras and someone there. And what else? Who are these people here with the dog?
This is a couple, very famous couple here. One of the oldest ones here, and they both live. They have a house by the lagoon, a house made by themselves.
Okay.
It's called the Fisherman Village.
That's those tiny little houses, the small, like they look like the Hobbit houses. They're near the lagoon.
Yes.
Okay.
And we went there, we drink a bit of wine with them. We had a good time with them.
How much wine?
Just a couple of glasses, because then we had to drive home safe. And then we got to know, firstly we got to know Chico Nega, and then Diolinda, his wife, and Chico Nega is like a legend here in the lagoon, because he has you can see here in this picture, this is like an arm of the lagoon. It goes into the lagoon, and it's called Chico Nega arm.
It's named after him?
It's named after him, yes.
Wow.
Because his house is not far from here, and he usually enters in the lagoon here with his boat, so that's why he has a long history related to fishing here in the lagoon. Amazing. And he's very, very nice also, both
Amazing.
of them. And the dog, do you remember the name of the dog? It was really cute.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but it was really nice, and in the picture it's amazing.
Yeah.
The way he
Where else?
We can talk about another one.
Yeah?
Which one?
Tell me where you want to go.
Yes, for example. Yeah, we can talk about Policarpo.
Policarpo. I had a friend in South Africa who he was a Portuguese guy but South African, and he always wanted to move to Portugal, and I ended up moving to Portugal, and his name was Fernando Policarpo.
Okay.
But Policarpo is this guy's first name, right? Policarpo Marques.
Yes.
Okay.
He's not working anymore. He's retired.
Okay.
And he's living in a day center
Okay.
We went there. We went there, and we took him to the place, his house, where he goes there at the end of the day, but he spends most of his days at that place. And then he went there and he showed us his house, which is really cute. And he is one of the only fishermen who does nets. He fixes the nets. He does the whole thing to fish. Those nets were made by him.
Okay.
And there are not many guys doing
That
it.
do these kind of things anymore.
Yes, you can see how proud he is by this, the way he looks, and
Yeah. Yeah, he's a happy guy.
Everyone are very proud.
Yes.
You can see in the expression.
yes.
And these guys here, they're doing the clams, right?
Yes. You can see by this face. This guy, I think he looks really nice. He's a tough face, but I think he was happy to be with us. But at the same time, he was in a rush to fish because he didn't want to waste any time, and we were wasting their time, and he was like, move on, because we want to catch clams, so move on because. This is a waste of time, and yes, also the tides. Yeah, they don't want to waste time because the tide then goes up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they have a limited time with the clams, right?
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Guys, do you want to talk about any others?
You want to talk about the only woman?
Ah, yeah, let's talk about her. Yeah.
Fisherwoman. She doesn't fish regularly, but still does it.
And that's her granddaughter,
That's her
Netta?
granddaughter. You can see the name of the boat is given after her granddaughter.
Ah, beautiful.
Which is Leia.
Yeah.
And she's using the tool used to catch.
For the measures and the vertical.
Yes.
Yeah, so everyone who eats these, who comes here for this amazing clams on the beachfront, it's these people that catch them.
Yes, these people who catch all those clams sell, and some people say that are the best clams around. The ones from Portugal.
For sure. What is one thing that you guys would like our listeners to remember and take away from the conversation that we've had today?
Maybe that's the best part of Portugal are people. People are still. If you want to get to know Portugal, you really need to get to know people who can tell you stories about our country, and who does stuff that will represent our culture and our nation. People with it's the best part of Portugal, definitely. We have so many beautiful landscapes, but if you take the people out, then it loses all the.
Yeah.
There's something missing, the most important part. Yeah.
Guys, how can people follow you online? Look at these photos. These photos are available to purchase as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So where can we follow you online and find your work?
We have a site www.aspessoasfazemlugares, and we have a social media.
Yes.
A Facebook and Instagram with the same name, As Pessoas Fazem Lugares.
Okay.
You can
Wonderful.
find all the pictures to sell in the website, and also the stories and the pictures and all the information about our project.
Okay. A question, guys, that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life? Why?
Again, I think it's the way we live. Our country has so much to offer, and there's not much to complicate. We don't need to complicate because life is simple. So just enjoy what you have around and don't try to complicate. I think that's something that defines Portugal, or the way we live.
Nice.
And that's about it. Depends on what we
Okay. Windfish. Thank you, guys. Obrigado. It was really a pleasure to learn about your project, and I look forward to seeing more work and more of these wonderful stories. So thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
And I'm going to let you call it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to Ricardo and Joao, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to the simple life.